What's up, everybody? This is Dominic D'Angelo of OneTrueSportTV.com, FourHorsemenNetwork.com, and I am live here on Straight Talk with the Boss, none other than Magnum TA and Greg Gagne. Guys, we're on the cusp of Thanksgiving, and I'm thankful for both of you.
And we're thankful for you, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And everybody else out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
TA, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
I don't know if I'm eating or refereeing. I'm not sure which I'm doing.
I mean, do you have everybody
prepared for all the above?
Do you have all the kids over to your place, or?
No. Oh no. 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 There's too many dynamics. That's they couldn't all make. If you can get 30 or 40% of them in the room at one time, that's good. Yeah, my Henry Kissinger thing wore out a long time ago. I'm not good at bridging all those gaps as people become older and more opinionated.
I'm having one of those today with my youngest one.
Yeah?
Yep.
Well, so Magnum, how many people do you have over at your place? Or no, you don't have them at your place? You go somewhere?
No,
I don't go anywhere. They have to come see me. I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, okay.
I'll have whoever shows up here, and then that'll be it. I've done that big thing.
Do you have a little of your Crown Royal, your apple crown?
As a matter of fact, I got to go stock up tomorrow, so I'll be ready for the holidays.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Well, we used to have everybody at our place or my parents' house, and then when they passed, they came to ours, and we'd have 20 to 30.
Wow.
Yeah, and my wife would do all the cooking.
Oh.
My mother did it prior to that, and she did it. And now it's kind of whittled down, and we're kind of scrambling here, but got a place to go.
That'll be good. Do you think it'll be
if we don't get in a big freaking argument, which started today, we'll see what happens.
Uh-oh. Nothing
maybe missing a couple.
Always keeps the holidays interesting when there's
it's always fun.
Tension. Now, is it going to be a big get together, Greg, for you, or is it low key?
Well,
depending on what happens.
Doesn't sound like it.
No, doesn't sound like it.
No, it might be 6 of us, 4 of us.
Okay, that ain't bad.
No, from 20.
From 20. Holy smokes!
Yeah, we got a lot going on.
Well, let me ask you guys this: are you guys dark meat or white meat? You guys like turkey wise?
I'm white.
White, Greg? I mean Magnum?
Yeah, I'm a white meat man.
Me too. Do you guys like stuffing, Greg?
Oh yeah. Oh, my mom used to make the best, and Laura makes really good stuffing. Yeah. But and so does my son JP. He does the cooking for the turkeys now, and he smokes them.
Oh,
smokes one and cooks one, and then he does stuffing like my wife used to. So it's really good. But I'm not going there this year.
Oh, dang.
I'll miss that one.
You're gonna miss that one.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens at the other end here. My daughter's doing.
I think we should set the iPad up in the middle of the table. Just have people come in and out and join us.
Yeah.
Throw a leg here and a wing over there, and some cranberries here and mashed potatoes. Just help yourself eat and go.
Around talking to you want to.
Yeah. And then you can mute people too. That'd be nice. You can.
Well, my daughter is doing it this year, so we'll see. I'm not sure how many are going to be there, but I'll be there.
Well, that'd be good. Yeah, the one that just got married, correct?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, she's a good. She wanted to do a turkey. It was just be 4 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Laura, myself, her husband Eric, and Gail. So.
Oh, see, that'll be nice either way.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
What about your guys' favorite types of pie? What are they?
Ooh, favorite pie?
Yes.
I like pumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
I like fresh apple.
Mm.
And the other one.
Yeah, there's plenty of them. chocolate, banana cream.
No, chocolate. God, we got it in the refrigerator.
Oh, pecan.
No, I'll
No,
go look at the top of it if you want the name of it.
that's not that important.
I love it, but I never remember the name. I think they're going to put me in a home here pretty quick. We're talking about my memory all week.
Oh, jeez.
Well,
So, happy Thanksgiving, Dad. You're in here.
yeah. Well, just let me know where you're at. I'll rescue you.
There you go. He'll break you out. He'll break you
Straight
out.
jacket on and the whole thing.
He'll bring you some pie, whatever one it is, though.
Yeah. Chocolate cream. All right.
Ooh, that sounds good. Magnum, how about you? What's your pie of choice?
I like sweet potato pie.
Oh, interesting.
I'm a little sweet potato guy. Yeah.
Oh. All right.
Yes.
Last question. Now we'll do 2 more. What's your favorite side overall? Overall, your favorite side, Greg?
I like a good dressing. Good dressing. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you can't beat that. Magnum, how about you?
My mom used to make this sweet potato souffle, she called it, and had sweet potatoes and brown sugar and pecans and
Yeah.
the whole flipping big deal. I could eat about a half a plate of that, the whole tray by myself.
She melt marshmallows over the top of it.
I don't even know what's all over the top of it anymore. I'm kind of like you. I just eat it. I'm glad they bring it to me.
Boy, we're a great tag team today, aren't we?
Well, it's not worth the effort of having to think about it too hard.
Yeah, you just enjoy it.
I love this chocolate pie that's in the refrigerator. I can't remember the name of it.
I can't remember what it is, though, exactly.
Oh, but
it's good.
it's good.
Yeah.
And I've got my youngest son dieting for wrestling. In the midst of all this, he's wrestling 144, and he was 157 when he started the season. So he's like he's eating lean and mean to stay down, making that 144. So
that's
so
gonna
this will be interesting. This will be his first Thanksgiving that he's he can't just eat everything he wants.
Are they wrestling the weekend, Friday, Saturday, or?
They're wrestling during the week. They're wrestling on the weekends.
Really?
They're wrestling all kinds of stuff.
On Thanksgiving Day?
Yeah, he's out of meet right now with 4 other schools.
How's he doing?
About 50-50.
Good.
Yeah.
It's his first year, right?
It's his first season.
Yeah.
I mean, this is his first full time of competing, and so what he lacks in experience, he kind of makes up for in strength because not a whole lot of 140 pounders can bench press 240 pounds.
Holy smokes! Really?
So he's strong. He's just he just got to learn the ropes like we all had to.
Is he tall like you?
He's about 5'10".
Is he?
Yeah.
What are you about 6? What are you 6'2"?
6'2". Yeah.
He probably didn't hit his growth spurt.
He's not quite finished growing yet. He might grow another inch or two. I think his big brother's like 6 foot tall. But
how old is he?
But his mom's only 5'3", so
Oh.
she kind of bridged the gap between us a little bit, I think.
How old is he?
17.
17.
Okay. And then how old's your oldest there, Magnum?
He's 20. He'll be 28.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Man. Now, man, how about that? That's pretty darn cool. Oh man. I've probably told this story. They wanted me to wrestle in high school, but I played basketball and I didn't play. I rode the bench, but the coach asked me if I would wrestle, and he was like, I want you to wrestle at 103 because I was 103. And the only reason was because there was nobody wrestling at 103, so they would just get the wins. I should have done it, but I didn't do it. But
now you're trying to do it now.
Well, now my brother's doing it.
Well, I know he's doing it, but you got the boxing gloves on every time you're on Instagram.
No,
which is all the time.
All the time.
He shadow boxes with the cat. I know
that's it. I do. Yeah, that's my training partner. It's like my Nick.
Who's winning that one?
He is. He clawed me up yesterday. I was like going at him, and he got me good.
Maybe you deserved it.
I did. I always deserve it. No doubt about it.
Teasing him.
Oh, jeez. Okay. This is the last Thanksgiving question I had. What are your guys' thoughts on cranberry sauce? Do you like it? Yay or nay? Greg, do you like it?
I like jellied cranberries.
Okay. See, that's the yes, absolutely. Magnum, how about you? Do you like cranberry sauce?
I haven't eaten 2 bites of cranberry sauce my entire life.
Really?
No,
Really?
nada. Not even interested.
No. Wow.
What, you
Zero.
don't like the taste of them, or?
I don't like the way it looks. It just doesn't do it for me.
I think I could grab the whole thing and just eat it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like.
No, I
There's
love it on
stuff
turkey.
Yeah.
I love it on turkey.
Oh, I like mixing it with the
Yes.
dressing and
gravy?
everything.
Oh,
You
my
get the
God.
cranberries.
Man. Magnum, you're missing out.
I don't miss out on much. I'm 265 pounds.
That's a good
all
point. Where did you have you had the 6-pack championship tee? You didn't miss out on a lot. Yeah.
Hey, where do you think your weight is where you were the best in the ring? Or what
Good
weight?
question. Good question.
240.
240?
Yeah. I had my best endurance and best strength and agility at that weight. I was a better athlete, 70 pounds bigger than what I was. I was a 167 pounder in high school. And at 70 pounds bigger, I was more coordinated, faster, stronger, more endurance than I was at 170.
Oh.
I never realized that until I got that maturity of, muscle on. But for my frame and everything for my size, it was just a good size for me.
Yeah, man.
And I've been bigger. I mean, I bulked up one time and it killed my win. So I mean, it wasn't like, oh, I thought I could have been 300 pounds. No, that was a max, and being go an hour with Flair or 30 minutes with Tully or something like that, in that kind of shape.
And so, what was the heaviest you ever pro wrestled at?
272.
Jesus, really?
Yeah.
Holy!
I wrestled Bockwinkel. I was that big.
Were you really? You were that big? No kidding.
Yeah, I was in Manny. I was at Manny Fernandez's wedding in San Antonio, Texas, and I weighed 272, and I had to wear a XXX tuxedo shirt to be able to button the neck.
XXX.
XXX, yeah. My arms were my arms hanging down in the suit were 19 inches, hanging down straight.
Holy balls! You got a big frame on you.
Yeah, I'm not a little guy. My dad was a big guy,
Mm-hmm.
big frame guy, and so, I had the big bones to go along with it. I just had to grow into the rest of it.
What did your dad do for a living, Magnum?
My dad and his father owned a steel fabrication and erection company. They built the structural steel frames in like shopping centers and office buildings, things like that. And they owned and operated their own business for 35 years.
Wow.
An erection company, huh?
Yeah, they.
I could have probably used them.
Huh?
I could have probably used them.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they brought they bring the crane over and help you up and pick it up. Yeah,
I needed it.
Yeah. The Iron Men.
Oh, there we go. Right. What a tag team name that would be. That's a good tag team name, actually.
My best weight was 211.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Now
nobody could keep up with me at that weight. I got a little heavier. I'm only about 3 pounds, and like TA said, I was winded. I didn't have it. So 211 down to about 2.7, man, nobody could stay with me. I could go all night long.
Man.
But,
not just in the ring either.
I was a smaller guy, smaller built, but,
yeah,
did what I had to do.
When you played football, did you weigh that much? When you were
No shit. When I was playing football, I was like 180 out at Wyoming. But, then we came back, worked in that camp that we ran through for, 5 months, 6 days a week. And then we had to do weights on top of it. So we got pretty salty, but, put on a little weight. Jim always wanted me to get on the steroids. I got on them once, ended up in the hospital, gave me some that were contaminated.
Oh,
hit my liver. So
oh my God.
shit, everything I had worked for, I lost. Then I had to get back and get it back.
That's a heel turn there, right?
Yeah. So I stayed away. I stayed away from the steroids.
Oh, well, so did you say you played quarterback?
Yeah.
Greg? At University of Wyoming?
Well, yes. First, I went to Minnesota.
Okay.
And I was a walk-on.
Mm-hmm.
Most of Murray Wormath at that time, the Minnesota kids, he maybe gave 1 or 2 scholarships to Minnesota kids. Everybody else was walk-ons. And then he gave the scholarships to the black athletes out of the South and wherever he had to go to get them. Mm-hmm. And then we walked on, and then we'd scrimmage kind of basically the Minnesota kids against, the other guys, and we beat them every week. And I was having a heck of a deal at quarterback. So when we get to the spring, he moves me to a defensive back, to a corner. And this running back that we had, Jeff Wright, first time I handed him off the ball, he went 60 yards for a touchdown. Murray moved him to defensive corner. I threw like 6 touchdown passes in our scrim in that game, our spring game. And then he moved me to I was the cornerback. He was the safety.
Oh, okay.
Had to make the calls. They had a Cora and a Sally. Cora meant the cornerback came up and broke up the end run.
Mm-hmm.
Sally, then the safety went up. So Jeff's making the calls. He calls Cora. Our running back, we had our quarterback was Ray Stevens, Sandy Stevens. I don't know if you remember that name. He was about 6'4", about 215 pounds. Our backs were Barry Mayer from North Dakota. He was 220. The other one was Jim Carter, who was 6'3", 250 pounds. So Jeff calls Cora. I got to break the end run up. This is in the spring.
Uh-huh.
And I hit this Carter, and he rolled me, and he ran for a touchdown. He says, run that play again. Gagne, Jesus. So I went up, and shit, I hit him again. And this time I hit him, and shit, he stepped on me and fell down. God, Murray Wormath, run that play again. Come on, Gagne. So I went up, and I stuck my head right in his thigh. And the next thing I know, I'm over on the sidelines with the trainer. And I guess everybody had gone off the field. And he says, come on, Greg, we're going to go in now. And I said, but look at the circus out there. Look at the clowns and the elephants. He says, let's go in. So I said, screw this. Wyoming had recruited me. I called there. So I went out, finished out there at quarterback.
Wow. Now, is this the same Wyoming that Josh Allen went to? For the Bills quarterback? Wow. Yeah. How about that? That's crazy.
Yeah, it was back then. I mean, they had come off the Sugar Bowl. They had really good teams out there, and Lloyd Eaton was the coach. And he had trouble with some of the black players, and he called them in, and he chewed their butts out. Unbelievable. He ended up losing his job.
Wow.
And then we ended up with Fritz Schirmer. Fritz ended up coaching eventually with Green Bay. He was a defensive coach. He was our head coach. And he was a little harder to work with, and different philosophy. Out at that time, with Wyoming, Arizona State, BYU, I mean, they threw the hell out of the ball. Yeah. And then he wanted to go to a running game. We didn't get to throw too much. So I played, on and off.
Yeah.
His favorites that he put in there. And, so it was a good experience being out in Laramie.
Yeah. Yeah. My goodness.
Every weekend we had fights in the bars.
I believe there's not a whole lot to do out there.
Every weekend.
Jeez, I believe.
We had a pretty good, there was about 5 or 6 of us, and we were in it every time, every week. The Cowboys wanted to try. So there was a few bodies laid out. We did pretty good.
Jeez. Well, I'll have to get that NCAA football game that's due and see if you're on there.
Well, I wouldn't be on there.
They might have legendary teams. I want to see if Greg Gagne is throwing.
Try the Buckhorn Bar.
Yeah, that's right.
Laramie. You might have a picture of us up there.
Yeah, there we go. Try that out.
TA, what was your experience in college?
My experience in college was freshman year was pretty normal college experience, but after my freshman year, I had gone into like really serious weight training and
Mhm.
deciding I was going to go pro. And I was had about 2 seconds worth of interest in going to school after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And I'd been working in nightclubs to make money while I was going to school.
Uh-huh.
So my path was taking me out of there in a skinny minute. It was not like, and it was kind of weird because I went to Old Dominion University, which is in Norfolk, Virginia
Yeah.
Beach. Virginia Beach is only like 20 miles away. Chesapeake's another 20 miles away. It's like a triangle, the three cities. And I spent so much time at the beach. It was just a completely different culture of people
Yeah.
than the ones that were going, to Norfolk. And I remember because I was working security and, in the nightclubs at the beach. I remember being at a frat party and somebody, getting on me because I wasn't being politically correct to somebody in some fraternity or something. I just wanted to, turn the whole house upside down with them in it. So I didn't really play well with that, that hazing game and, funny stuff and ha and,
Yeah.
trying to play games with people when I'd been out there kind of in the real world with, fighting with men and longshoremen and all kind of stuff like that. And in the clubs where I was working, those kids in school were kind of stupid to me.
Oh,
Yeah. Did you work as a bouncer then when you were in college?
Yeah,
yeah.
the whole time.
What did you weigh then when you went to college?
I was about 215 when I started working in security,
Mhm.
and when I finished, I was about 230, 235 ish
Yeah.
in that range. And because I was working out with some guys who were real muscle heads, and the guy that ran the club was an ex Navy SEAL from SEAL Team 6 and Vietnam vet and everything. So they're showing us all these real nasty things to do to people if you need to stop something very quickly. And it wasn't about playing nice. It was the kind of stuff, they did in the teams. So everything there, short of killing you, was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like our wrestling camp. Vern was a Marine, and plus he wrestled, and oh my God.
Oh, I didn't know Vern was a Marine. I didn't know
Oh
that.
yeah, he was in the Marine Corps.
Wow.
And the drills we did were
Yeah,
tough.
military.
Yeah, a lot of guys didn't make it through, but we had the 6 of us in there. Did pretty well.
Man. Yeah, I believe that. My goodness. Yeah, that's something else right there.
Yeah.
Well,
Flair came out of the camp. He hasn't done too bad.
no, he's done all right, I would say. And Steamboat, right?
He's still going too.
Still going. I just saw something on him on Instagram partying.
Yeah,
down.
I did too. Yeah.
Did you see that meme of somebody that had this old guy sitting in a chair out on the sidewalk and said she took everything or something? And it's a guy that looks kind of like Flair. Did you see that thing on?
I saw that.
Oh my gosh!
I thought it was him.
Oh no, it was horrifying.
Maybe we should try to get him on here one day, huh?
I think
You work on that.
Oh, yeah. How much will we have to pay him, huh?
Yeah, see how much that cost us.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me dig into our funds here.
Yeah.
Pull out 50 cents.
Yeah.
We couldn't afford the bar tab.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. So we're live here. So guys, if you have some questions, I've been starring a couple. If you want to get a question in, feel free to use the super chat. That helps out the show. You can use it whether you're on 4horsemanetwork.com or onetruesporttv.com. Be sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button so you get all the updates going on. As far as some things go, let's preview a little bit of the Survivor Series that's set to go down this weekend. Speaking of wrestling Thanksgiving traditions, we'll take a look at that. Let me see if I can pull up the card here. Where is that here in my email account? Bear with me. Here we go. So, guys, starting off, really compelling stuff with the Bloodline going up against and Bronson Reed. Well, Roman Reigns, the Usos, Sami Zayn now have CM Punk at their side for this main event match. Wanted to get both your guys' predictions on what could go down and how you've overall felt about incorporating CM Punk into the mix. Greg, let's start with you. What do you think is going to happen here at the main event?
That one caught me by surprise. Heyman coming back, I figured he was going to come back, and I thought he'd bring the guy in, but I didn't think it would be CM Punk.
Oh, okay, yeah,
that was a surprise. The people erupted though, so it was a good choice. And that's going to be an interesting match. I mean, he's going to be physical. That's a good group to be battling out. I'm not in there with them.
Jeez. So what do you predict is going to happen? Who do you think is going to win? Do you think the New Bloodline will win, or do you think it's going to go to Roman's crew?
Man,
it's a tough one. I know.
Yeah. Normally, I would say it has to go to the Roman crew. But that's the obvious thing for me. So it would be probably better for business if the other group came out of it.
Yeah.
With Bronson Reed and that whole crew. I mean, that's just my thoughts on it. But, you're going to send the people home happy, or you're going to send them home wanting more.
Exactly. Yeah. What are you gonna build to here?
What do you think, TA?
Yeah. What do you think, Magnum?
I think they're in a weird position because do I like the angle? It doesn't have. They had such heavy shoes to fill, first of all, because Roman was such a mega powerhouse as a heel, and the way he demanded authority, and the flip side, and it's good because they can't be the same thing. You can't try to go out and replicate it, but it's almost like though they're serious guys, they're more like sarcastic, jerky kind of people rather than the serious heels that I could see. Jacob Fatu was really cut loose and used the way he could be used, and him and Bronson Reed together could be just absolute huge force.
My goodness,
if that's done right. And my biggest thing in all of it at the end of the day would be wanting to set the stage to the next step, like Greg's saying, and you got to get the heat on, let those two guys somehow, help really elevate that game to bring that heat up, but do it in such a way where it doesn't hurt Roman, because I think it's almost like they're buying time. They're trying to get over to this Netflix game and where they're going with that, and I'm sure they got some just absolutely amazing things planned, and they're trying not to play their hand, but they're trying to get past it and all that deal. So again, CM Punk in the mix, if he's right, he's such a huge money ball player. If they let him really bring his A game into that event, which is hard with that many people, but still, depending on who starts. Let's talk about that. Who starts?
That's a great point.
Because back in the day, Arn Anderson started the matches.
Yes.
And Arn would set the stage and be out there 45 minutes. And they would have a, stellar 5-star performance because he set the stage and kept the momentum right. And it was always set, for the next guy to come in. And who is that going to be? And I almost could see CM Punk starting it with somebody because he has that kind of tenacity to go through that entire war.
Yeah.
With them. And of course Roman needs to come in last, to me to take the thing, wherever they're going to go with it.
Yeah.
But I'd want to see the heels coming out with some steam where the baby faces haven't quite figured out how to solve this problem yet. that is still.
What if the Reigns group won, and when it's over, the heels get their heat back?
I don't know that they could get their heat back.
I think I'm with Magnum. I don't think they could. I don't think they could.
That's where I was thinking. How would they get it back? What are they going to do to get it back? And if you beat them, that take the heat off of them.
Yeah, and you've got these storylines going. I mean, you got the storyline going with Randy, injured, still selling that pile driver and working that angle that hard. So they've got to do it in such a way that doesn't take away from that storyline. So you can't leave somebody laying or whatnot. You got to come out of there. They got to steal it, but they still got to do some damage that's insulting in the process. That keeps putting that thing back in Roman's face to reclaim his position as the leader. And even with all that, it still won't be the same, even if he were to do all that, because he was an anti-hero in the way he played it before.
Yeah.
And now he's kind of shown this sensitive side. Is the only way I can express it. It just doesn't make some of the interactions. I mean, back before, you just know he was going to smack the taste out of somebody's mouth for even looking at him wrong, much less suggesting some of the things he's had to listen to.
Yeah.
Heckle and Jekyll and whoever else.
Heckle and Jekyll.
What if CM turned on him?
You don't want to do that either, because you don't want to take a. They got to elevate that angle. They got to get this bloodline thing to the next level. And if The Rock's ever going to play a hand in it, maybe so, maybe not, whatever. But they've got to get that thing to some kind of crescendo heat.
Yeah.
The pointing towards WrestleMania with some kind of blow off.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's WrestleMania? You think that's Cody and The Rock?
No.
Don't you?
I think that's Rum. If Rock was there, it's the match that he wanted to do originally, which was him and Roman.
Yeah.
I don't know that Cody will still be the champion by WrestleMania.
Oh, so you think they could maybe take it off him?
I think they could. They could take it off of him and put him right back in the chase.
Yeah.
I mean, they've established him well enough. I mean, he's made his place in history today. Whether he holds the title for 30 more days or 130 more days doesn't make any difference. Mm-hmm. But for the sake of story, the storyline, the chase is still the proverbial, bread and butter of the business. You're not going to have a baby face.
Who would take it from him, Owens?
Yeah, that's what I was going to follow off with. Who do you think?
I don't. It depends on who. It depends on who they want to, take to that next level. Mm-hmm. I'm still. Randy's going to come back and have another run for the title somewhere. I mean, they got a 5-year deal, and they're working an angle, and he's going to come back and do something. He could come back and flip on everybody, and he could come back and turn heel. Where you think he's come back as a babyface, he could come back and flip the script on everybody.
Yeah. Oh, he could come back if Owens was the champion, and they got that natural Orton versus.
I don't see Owens beating Cody. I see Randy beating Cody.
Okay.
I'm trying to think who would make a lot of sense to do it. Magnum, I do side with you in the fact that Rock would want to come back to face Roman, but how they set everything up the night after WrestleMania, where The Rock had the People's Championship, they traded the titles for that second. The Rock whispered something to Cody, walked away. He's the final boss kind of thing. That there was that organic tension that built between those two, building up to the WrestleMania match. I could kind of see it still being Rock versus Cody.
It 100% could be, but I don't see. I mean, if he came back and kicked his ass like he did out there by that truck, and had that kind of interaction, and again gave them a one-on-one in heel class exactly what to do. it could be turned back on just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, it comes down to booking and availability and movie making and everything else that is going on in the land of Dwayne Johnson.
That's it.
Yeah.
We'll
Nice
see how.
land to be in, huh?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
The thing is, Rock's been been getting a hard time with the movie stuff and everything like that. He's been making headlines where his movie's not drawn enough and certain things like that. And then I read some article. It's from a local Pittsburgh guy actually, but I think he's associated with like the Ringer and stuff. He wrote something kind of like some of it was fair points when it came to like the Rock's movie stuff, but then he kind of took some digs at him from a wrestling standpoint. I'm like, I don't know how much of wrestling you've been watching, but when The Rock was around for WrestleMania season, he was the reason people were tuning in. There's there's no reason. Like The Rock elevated the product, bar none. And
his work held up.
Yes,
his in-ring work held up.
Absolutely.
100%. Wasn't like you could see any ring rust. If anything, he was more impressive and dynamic in that performance than some of his previous main events that he had in his prime. So now he hasn't missed a beat, and he can still go, and we know he can talk. So, but again, it's got to make sense, and I'm waiting to see the whole paradigm shift, because there's some shift coming that we're not any privy to at this point in time. I just know that there is January we're going to see something new.
Absolutely, I agree with you, Magnum. It's gonna feel big time. They're going to Vegas for WrestleMania. I mean, they're gonna set the tone for it in a really big way. I think. So you guys are both.
How about Jade Cardell?
So
Did you see that thing with the going through the car?
I think they're trying to write her off. I think maybe she must be injured or something legitimately. And
I heard she's going to be out for at least 3 months.
That sounds probably about right. It's a shame too, because she's such a star, and her and Bianca together have really established those tag titles for the women's division.
So what do they do with those if she's not around?
I guess they might have to vacate them, right? That's the only thing.
Have to vacate them and have a little tournament or something.
Have a tournament, or a battle royal, or do something where it's like you kind of make sense of it to have it happen.
Well, some of these things these ladies and men are doing, they're taking such chances. Mm-hmm. God Almighty, a lot of them are racked up.
Did you guys have?
But some of the goofy stuff they're doing, Jesus.
Now, Greg, I know you don't watch AEW too much, but Magnum, did you happen to catch any of the ending of the pay-per-view Full Gear this past Sunday, or did it catch on?
Is this reference what you're talking about? Because I think I saw some clips.
Yeah, so it was Jon Moxley and Orange Cassidy in the main event. The match itself was good. I liked the match, but the ending, how they're telling this story, where it's almost like an NWO invasion of taking over, it seems so watered down, so disorganized. The hype for things set up, because they kind of tease like people showing up or returning, whether it's Kenny Omega or like even a Shane McMahon showing up. And here the ending came up. We're talking about people taking risks. They had this segment backstage where the bad guys, Jon Moxley's faction, are trying to drive off into a truck, and the parked car gets T-boned by a car, and out comes Darby Allin, who's got blood on his forehead and all this stuff, and then that's how the show ends, and it was just so chaotic, so disorganized. Adam Hangman Page came out to like interfere when he's a heel and he's representing the good guys. It was really, really strange, really poorly booked, to be honest, and it put the company, I think, in a bad position of how they're telling that story and getting their point across to them. So taking risks in more ways than one over in AEW, I think.
How are their ratings? Do you know their TV ratings?
They've kind of plateaued and fell into this. I don't know what the numbers exactly have been for the past several weeks, but not nearly even close to where they were when they were kind of a hot and growing.
Even the WWE, I saw a thing yesterday about the ratings. They had gone down.
Yeah.
So they bumped up a little bit last week on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But the other one, Raw, is kind of leveled out.
Yeah.
Yellowstone's come back out and reset the stage for what expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, and it's good. The holiday season's coming around. People are getting into Thanksgiving mode. Football's, in the thick of the action right now. So I think a lot of people's attentions are elsewhere a little bit. And I think WWE kind of realizes that, and AEW is they're just making this uphill battle where they're creating more problems for themselves than actually.
There's a lot of talent leaving and going to them from the WWE, but I don't see where they're going to be a benefit to them. They've been kind of, used up.
Well, we have Bobby Lashley, who just debuted a couple weeks ago in AEW,
but he's been gone for a while, so that should have some impact.
Yeah,
the Street Profits, or no, is it the Street Profits?
No,
they're going to the AEW.
Well, there was rumors of what they could be doing, but I don't think they're leaving WWE.
You don't think so?
Yeah, there was some rumors that maybe they could possibly leave WWE, but
I thought they'd signed with them.
No,
they're just finishing out their run. Okay.
No, as far as nothing's been reported or confirmed or anything like that when it comes to anything.
I just got off the boat, so
it's okay. So for your predictions, you guys think the new Bloodline are going to win this Survivor Series main event?
I think so.
I do too. Yeah.
Other matches on the card. Let's take a look. The women's War Game match, which is Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Io Sky, and Bayley. They'll be going up against Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Greg's Girl, and Candice LeRae. What do you guys think on this one? They haven't. There's a little bit of story going on. It's all these feuds intermingling and stuff like that. I could see probably the baby faces winning this one, but what do you guys think?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see
Rhea Ripley's not going to be out there with that mask on and all that stuff and come out on the bad end of it.
No, right? Yeah, I like the mask. It's a cool added element. You think about it, that she's.
Here's one for you. Tiffany Stratton had called me a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
They're coming to Minneapolis for a big show in early December here.
Oh.
And she said, "I'd like you to sit with my mom in the front row."
Oh.
And I said, "Well, sure, I guess I can do that, but I'll need 2 tickets." She said, "Okay." So they sent me a note the other day. They're not allowing the talent to have any more tickets.
Really?
Yeah. For friends, folks, Yeah, wow. She called me in, and then I read about it. Yeah, they cut everybody off. Man. No more free passes.
How about that? They're gearing up for the road to WrestleMania.
I guess so. I wouldn't think
Greg, you're not on the road. You're hitchhiking. You're set to hitchhike.
So I'm not going down there. I'll watch it on TV.
Yeah. Well, dude, that stinks. How about that?
I probably if I go down there, they'll probably throw me out. So
you'll get the old Evo.
Why give them the chance?
Well, hey, let's what about this one? This is an interesting one. I think we kind of know what's going to happen, but the World Heavyweight Championship, Gunther defending his World Championship against former foe and Damian Priest. What do you guys think of this match? Magnum, let's start with you. Gunther and Damian Priest.
Yeah, they got the gas on Gunther. They're not going to back off him.
Yeah.
He did the favor for Cody, at that pay-per-view, but they got too much invested in him, and he's too good.
Yeah.
He's too good, and he's that kind of guy that can go in whatever lane they want him to be. Because he can deliver a line and make you just furious with him, or he can say something that's just so true you scratch your head and say, well, he is right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I listened to the
I think he's got a bright future.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I was just listening to an interview with him and Damian.
Mm-hmm.
And the people almost cheer Gunther now.
He's kind of likable. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
About him, Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it should be a good match. The two of those two hammering each other should be pretty good.
Well, and they've kind of set the stage for it, to be honest, because his cohort that is all out heel, and they're not seeing quite eyeball to eyeball
Yeah.
about their perspective of the game. So I mean, it'd be very easy. I mean, it'd be foolish to just out and out turn him at this juncture. But
Yeah.
I look at the great heel turns over courses of time, and the stage is being set for him to be one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it would be like he worked so solid, but now we've seen that he can show a that he can be in a fighting up and back position, in some of these other matches he's had. So he could fall in that role and never have to change his character at all or change his in ring style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You really know it's a great point, Magnum. You wouldn't have to. Like they're just maybe just a certain tweak, but that's all you'd need is like, and you just let him go off to the races of how he is, and people will get behind him. I think in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they earn their respect, when they're heels. Like we go back with Mad Dog Vachon. I mean, he was one of the goofiest freaking heels you've ever been in the ring with. But the people respected him, and eventually they turned him.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing with the Crusher and the Bruiser, people like that. And I know down in Charlotte too, you had some of those. Who were the guys there that all of a sudden these heels and the people are cheering them? Ta.
Well, not it wasn't like that, but I mean when Dusty turned to Kita, babyface, and it was the place exploded because he'd been it's like being lukewarm. You don't want to be lukewarm about the way you feel about something. So if you really, really hate somebody or really, really like somebody, it's really easy to change your opinion just as drastically from one direction to the other, depending on what circumstance are put in. And the guys that can move the needle and make you really hate them can also make you really want to cheer for them too, because you think they're a badass.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Did you team up with Nikita then after you guys had those big battles?
No, that was after my wreck.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
That was the whole reason he turned, and he was never a heel. He wasn't never. They tried to bring him in kind of as a heel in WCW to work with Sting, after the fact. But I mean, the 290-pound version of him that I worked with was never to be seen again because he got off the gas and just changed his whole style and work and everything. And he had to because of the way he don't look the same at 235, 240 that you did at 290.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. Again, every day I was in the business, I still thank Bruce and Brody for that because I'd have gone down that same path. But it's hard. I mean, I know y'all have seen them on the internet, but they'll post these pictures of guys that were it is so impressive when they were just jacked to the moon and gassed up, and then show them in their not so great looks, and it's like watching Superman take his muscles off and step out of the cape and put his teeth up on the glass here, and it's not the way you want to think about your superheroes.
No. Yeah, that's the sobering thing about being a wrestling fan is like you see your stars, kind of lose the shape or get out of shape, and some of them, it's just like the time wears on it, but so does the activities outside of it too.
Yeah.
Have that happen. So, another match. Speaking of guys that have been kind of in the middle of everything, Braun Breaker. He'll be. They announced that Braun Breaker will be defending his Intercontinental Championship against Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser. What do you guys think? Does Braun retain against these two foes, if you will?
I think he probably will. But if they were wanting to turn the world upside down, they'd put it on Ludwig.
Yeah, right.
And let him just go and turn it flipping on because he's got attitude. From the moment he walks out on that walkway, he works it 24/7. He is a stellar.
Isn't he?
I mean, he is so darn good that, and it's so ironic that he and Gunther, are partners because he's absolutely as dedicated and all in on his character as Gunther is on his, and he's got a little bit different physique, a little bit different stylization of what he does in the ring, but he is just so good that I'd love to see him get a chance, and have Braun had to go chase him. Maybe something happened, but him walk out of there with that deal. Oh man, can you imagine the arrogance and oh my gosh, the promos that he could cut. Monday night. Ooh.
Oh man, and he gets heat big time. If you saw when he interfered,
he has heat.
Yeah, when he interfered in that match last week, when it was Sheamus versus Braun Breaker, the crowd was like they wanted to murder him. He was so bad, like he is. And the neat thing too, Magnum and Greg, is like I don't know if you caught this moment, but this yesterday on Raw, Braun was doing his signature run around the ring, and he was going to spear Ludwig. And Ludwig moved out of the way, and Braun hit the commentator's table. And then Ludwig's holding his stick like, oh, my God, thank God he missed me. And he's like kind of recuperating. But then he gets like a grin on his face like, yeah, I outsmarted him and stuff like that. And he's playing to the camera. He is fantastic.
Yeah, he really is. Does a great job.
That's it. So how about that? He's awesome. He's awesome. So
what else we got?
So one more match. It is Shinsuke Nakamura challenging LA Knight for the United States Championship. Yeah. What are your predictions on that one?
I'd have to go with Shinji. What is it, Shinji?
Shinsuke Nakamura?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those Japanese ones, they all throw me.
Sometimes
I would have to say they probably would have to go with him.
Yeah, he's kind of
that entrance, that new entrance he made, he looks pretty awesome.
He does look awesome. I'm with you.
What do you think, TA?
What do you think, Magnum?
Yeah, they need to do something. LA Knight needs something else to talk about. So,
yes.
I mean, again, the heat, the chase, the whatever, that conversation gets much more interesting instantaneously if something like that happens. And, again, it's timing and opportunity, and they've got both. So,
absolutely. Yeah, it should be a fun show. I'm very excited for it. I love the aspect of it kind of tying in with Thanksgiving and everything like that. It kind of, you don't get Thanksgiving and pro wrestling go so hand in hand with one another over the course of the years. It's neat to kind of get that still, but also I don't know if you guys caught wind of this, but WWE's been making a concerted effort to give these people the wrestlers time off during the holidays, like they pre-taped SmackDown so people can be with their families during Thanksgiving. And that's not a common occurrence in pro wrestling over the years. So no. So,
we wrestled Thanksgiving Day every year.
Wow, man.
And Christmas, and they were both sold out.
I believe that.
Always sold out. It was an automatic, but yeah, it was kind of a tradition, and it was that way. But again, when we go back, our guys got time off, so we could work that. But it's good that they're giving the talent some time to themselves.
Yeah,
on these holidays.
Absolutely.
TA, you wrestled same thing, didn't you? Thanksgiving.
No. And I don't feel the same way about it. You do probably, because honestly, I just think it was greedy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, but that's one day out of the, 2 days out of the year that big house, whatever, that wouldn't have destroyed the company, for anybody. Yet, others, and to Greg's point, people came out. I mean, in the afternoons, Christmas, after Christmas Day, people are, wanting to go do something. It's a big day at the movie theaters. It used to be, even before things like that. But, I've kind of, when you're putting your bodies out there to do the kind of things we did to entertain people, it's a little bit different deal. And, I got mixed emotions about whether they were doing the right thing or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely conflicting with the family time and just a couple of days of the year. It's like, oh man, you want. Yeah. So it's nice that they're getting that. Okay, I'll close it. We'll take a couple fan questions, but I do want to close it out with this. any memories during your wrestling heyday about Thanksgiving that really stand out to you guys? Greg, anything that really stand out to you when you had to wrestle during Thanksgiving, or some memories that really
Oh yeah, we had to eat early, or else, so mom would make all the stuff, and we'd eat and go over to the arena and be full yet and try to have a match. But you kind of paced yourself too when we had to, because it was a big night. And and TA hit it on the head. People, they celebrate Christmas in the morning, New Year's or Thanksgiving early, and then either they got football or what are they going to do? And it was, people went out, and they liked getting out, and they'd have these parties, and they'd bring the whole party out to the matches, and they were interesting matches and interesting nights, and but we gave the people entertainment, and that's what they wanted.
Do you have some special guests come over for dinner during their days, like any other wrestlers and colleagues?
Well, my dad, some of his buddies, if they're in town, like Bill Watts and his wife, Wilbur Snyder, was another one, and they moved up for a while when he was working in the AWA, and they would come over. And anybody, Chief Maeva.
Oh yeah.
My dad would invite the guys over that, from out of town, and Maeva would come over, and he'd have his little ukulele, and him and my dad would sit there and sing all freaking night.
Awesome.
Yeah. But, my mom tried to accommodate the guys from out of town. They would come over and have dinner with us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Magnum, any good Thanksgiving wrestling memories for you?
I remember early on, and in the beginning for me, it was really kind of a weird situation, because I went 3,000 miles away, broke in the business from my and I'd never been away from grandparents, and we had like Greg was talking about, we had huge gatherings, 25 people. Wouldn't be anything unusual at all, for Thanksgiving or a Christmas dinner, either one. So to be away from all that, especially in the early years when you were struggling and getting started. But I remember Scott Casey and his wife had us, to Greg's point, had some of us over in San Antonio for a Thanksgiving, which was nice. Opened up their house and made a meal, and again I think we went off to Russell in Corpus Christi or something that night. But there was that sense of family, the traveling gypsies that we all were, kind of trying to band together and having something halfway normal. But it goes back to that the sacrifices that were made. The show must go on, and I remember vividly the first time getting up on a Christmas morning and having to be at the airport by 10:30 or something to go catch a flight to go be somewhere. My mom was just like, her mind was just like, couldn't wrap her head around the fact that anybody would have to go do anything, on Christmas Day.
Yeah. Well, see, we would do it. We'd either wrestle in Minneapolis or St. Paul. We never wrestled, we didn't do Denver or any of those. So all the talent was in town. So it was easy for them to get to it.
Yeah.
We didn't have to fly anywhere. So we get most of the day with our family, and then, after the matches too.
Yeah, it's probably a different dynamic when it comes to that, because it's all, territory days, locally based kind of thing could kind of be beneficial in that regard. But yeah, think about like WWE when they're cooking and moving all over the place, and Vince would give you no days off. It was just another, oh my gosh.
Yeah, we wouldn't wrestle any of the other towns. It was just Minneapolis or St. Paul that we did Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah.
That way everybody was, could get home, spend most of the day with their family.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
It was good. Everybody liked
good balance.
It was a good balance.
Good balance. We'll close it out with this question. First, I will give a shout out here to Scott Burke, who says, I got my Vern Gagne action figure. How about that? Good
job. How's he liking it?
Yeah. To let us know if you're still around, if you're still in the chat, Scott, let us know if you like the figure and stuff. Give us some feedback. This question here is appropriate. It's for Magnum. One Mike Messier says, Magnum, talk about teaming up with Randy Savage in the Atlanta Tag Tournament on Thanksgiving of 1983. Any good memories of that, Magnum?
Yeah, that was really kind of a cool deal because JYD and myself and Butch Reed flew from I don't remember where we came out of Shreveport or where we flew out of, but they chartered a plane and we flew in to work the tournament for Ole, and that was their big deal every year. And I remember it was so funny because these guys were all worried about their political stuff, like oh, I've got to look like this because I'm here, this, there, what, blah 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 blah. And I think I was a North American heavyweight champion or something at the time, and so they didn't know what they were doing until the last minute, kind of, and it was like, say, Ole came up with this idea to put Randy and I together.
Yeah.
And then they were all concerned because Randy had definite career path in mind of what he was going to do and where he was going, and this is before he made it obviously big in the WWE and everything, and it was like, so we go to the finals. We worked a couple of matches with people I can't even remember who they were now, but the last match we were in there with like Pez Watley and somebody, and they were they were in turmoil. They wanted Pez and the other guy to go over, but they were just in like turmoil over how they were going to get Randy or I to put these guys over. and I think Ron West or somebody was like the referee, and I looked at him. I said, "Are you kidding me right now?" I said, I'm not going to be back here for a really long time. I said, this isn't on the wide world of sports. I said, I will do the favor gladly, and we're going because we're getting on a plane with a case of beer and going back.
Yeah,
I have to get out of here. Y'all been talking about this thing longer than we could already had the match. Yeah, so I said, so I'd be glad to put him over. That's the easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah.
Let's just get that out of the way. Go, get home and get out of Dodge.
That's terrific.
Yeah, jeez.
Man,
we got more than two viewers today asking questions.
Yeah. We're almost. Oh yeah, we have a couple. Let's see. Here's a interesting. I think we kind of talked about this last week. How it's so hard to kind of give an answer to something like this. But ETS, hey guys, what is your top angle in wrestling that got the most heat? Piper in the Gold Album, Dusty Ole in the cage versus the Assassin, Andy Kaufman. Is there something that really stands out to you that really got the most heat? That not necessarily maybe that you were a part of, but something that maybe even you witnessed. Greg, is there something that stands out to you that's like, man, that got a lot of heat? Holy smokes, that really.
Oh man, I don't know which one would be the hottest one in that group.
Mm-hmm.
They all had their moments.
Yeah.
Time to pick out. It's a tough pick.
Well, it could be something in the AWA too that you witnessed or anything too.
Yeah, but even that, there was there's so many good angles, and Bockwinkel and Stevens, when they were tag team champions, I mean, they had it for 3 years.
Yeah, you get a lot of heat.
And they had heat for 3 years. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
They had Bobby Heenan in their corner, which added to it. And other times you had Mad Dog and his brother, the Butcher.
Yeah.
Shit, people were ready to kill them. They're afraid of them.
You're right. You don't want to mess with them.
Yeah. There was a lot of feuds like that. To me, it's very hard to pick out, which one was the hottest because there were so many.
Yeah.
Don't you think, TA?
Oh, there's tons of them. But the only one that I personally experienced, well, actually two, but the one that comes to mind the most for me personally was when Tully and I were first wrestling for the U.S. title after I'd beat Wahoo and had the title a couple months. And it's a sellout. It's the old Charlotte Coliseum. And Baby Doll, at the end of the match, comes out dressed as a police officer. And you don't see her coming.
Yeah.
And she all of a sudden appears from the aisle, slides down. The referee doesn't notice it. It's, just thinks it's a police officer. She slips him a roll of quarters. Bam, he hits me with a roll of quarters. Quarters go everywhere. Boom, 1, 2. He referee's distracted. 1, 2, 3, and it was white heat. It was that white heat that you could just cut it with a knife. The whole building went into this eerie thing until he told me afterwards that he just wanted to get his bag and go right straight to the car and just kept right on going. And it was the beginning of an 8-month program.
Yeah.
But to Greg's point, there were so many ones that were done like that were, when they were that good, you could feel it. You knew it in the building. It wasn't anything they saw on television, but it would drive your whole business for the next 6-8 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a rare occasion now where you see stuff really, really heavy heat. And when it does, it stands out big time. Like, oh, man. I think that's sometimes even more.
They do it too much. They do it too much.
Mm-hmm.
The AWA, we ran 2 angles a year.
Yeah.
That was it.
Mm-hmm.
And it carried us through the year.
Yeah.
You could do that because you didn't hot shot your territory.
Right.
And you didn't expose them to all the crazy shenanigans and the things we used to make fun of Tennessee, for back in Nashville for back in the day. But the bigger even back in the 80s, from just cage matches to scaffold matches and all these goofy stinking things, more is not always better.
Right.
The little insinuated, get them on the edge of their seat and then just knock them out with something they totally didn't see coming is more impressive than, bringing them a 3-ring circus.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So many great heats. People are bringing up the Hogan heel turn. Obviously, we talked about that last week. There's a lot of different ones that you can really, really play into that definitely. Somebody did ask. Funny they mentioned this. They asked if Greg, hey, did you play for the Twins, Greg? We talked about that last week.
We got mixed up quite a bit, though.
Yes.
He went by Gagne.
Gagne. Good old Gagne.
He did. Yeah.
Yes.
Because he was from Boston.
We were,
oh, yeah. But the Gagnes were related. We go back to, Quebec.
Yeah.
That area. That's where the Gagnes came from.
Wow.
And it's a French name. And he came from Boston area. And they went by Gagne out there. They would call us that once in a while too, but ours is supposed to have a little accent go after the E.
Yeah.
Gagne, hey, baby, why don't you come over to my place?
Hey, all right, guys. So this was a great episode. Want to get some plugs in? Magnum, you want to give any updates on Powertown or the situation going on? Anything there for the holidays prepping or?
We just had a big planning meeting this morning, and we're rapidly approaching some announcements that'll be coming out probably the end of December about what we're going to be starting with in January. And hold on, because it's going to be 2025 is going to be a very interesting year.
Ooh, I'm excited.
They don't tell me. because I'll let it out.
You get whacked in the Powertown Mafia.
Oh, geez, I got to be careful. I just deal with the talent. I don't tell them anything.
That's it.
Work out their contracts for them.
Well, guys, if you want to keep tabs, you can check out over here, Powertown Wrestling. Scan that little QR code or go to powertownwrestling.com and just keep tabs on everything. Be on the lookout for everything. Some cool stuff. Hey, 1tsport.com. So this Friday, we're going to have a Black Friday sale. I believe it is 20% off everything. So
really?
If you want
Did you check with TA and I if we wanted to give up 20%?
Do you guys want to? We cannot, but might be roping some folks in if we do.
You'll be giving them away pretty soon.
No, we won't be doing that.
Right.
Look at this sweet merch we got with Greg, the Greg Gagne garb. Get the T-shirts, the high flyers, the classic Greg Gagne, Heart of a Champion. Then we got the winter stuff too as well with Greg. We got you get the hoodie, high flyer, the mug. Stay warm with that, and hey, look good and regulate with the baseball bat with Magnum TA's hoodie and the mug if you would like as well. And then you can check out some of the Magnum merch too. We got speaking of Nikita Koloff, we have the best of 70. They have the list of matches on the back of that t-shirt too. So that's pretty awesome. The Magnum TA, the boss of Chesapeake, Virginia, you can get that as well. So go to 1tsport.com and secure your stuff, or hold off maybe till Friday and get that Black Friday sale. And, let's get a little Thanksgiving in there.
Which one? What's my one sale? Which one did you sell?
To you, Greg. We sold it to you.
Well, that's when you sold to me.
Yeah.
That's what the check was for.
That's what it's for. So yes, be on the lookout for that.
Logo just came home from work.
Oh, geez. Yeah. So we better get out of here then. Guys, if you like what you're seeing, I just dropped the doubleheader episode from last week, so you can catch the new episode of Straight Talk with the Boss. It's the past 2 episodes combined, so you get a super duper episode of Greg and Magnum, and then you'll get this one tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning. And there's also the new episode of Arn Up with his son Brock. Fun stories there on that one. So be sure to subscribe to type in 4 Horsemen Network on your podcast feed of choice. That'll pop up, and you can get all the new episodes on the audio feed. So.
Well, let's wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to all the regulars in the audience, from Eddie Prather to Paul. I see Paul Shaw's a new guy. CB Italian. We had little Patty in here too. Lots of good names in here. Oh, we did get a super chat real quick. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Here's a great question to close out on then real quick. What are you thankful for in your careers? This is from Instagram, a wrestling historian. What are you thankful for, Greg, in your careers?
What am I, what?
In your career, what are you thankful for, your pro wrestling?
What am I thankful for? I don't remember anything. So it's hard to say. No, I think, and I've said it before, the matches that really stood out, that you remember. Matches I had with Nick Bockwinkel, with Ray Stevens and Pat Patterson. 8 minutes with the top wrist lock, and we have a riot.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that you really feel so good about, because your story got to the people.
Yeah.
And they responded to it. Tia, I know you had a lot of great matches too.
Yeah. What are you thankful for in your career there, man?
I'm thankful for having had one, and having had the opportunity to live out a dream that most people would have never even taken step one to try to accomplish. And it took a lot of work, but it also took a lot of luck, and it took a lot of divine intervention for the moon and stars to all line up for me to be able to do what I did in just short of 7 years in this industry, and to still be remembered by people 35, 40 years after the fact, and still be in the conversation. It's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Happy Thanksgiving, TA and Dom.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm so thankful for you guys. It's been awesome so far. We've been almost doing it. Have we been doing this for a year now? I think it's been about. Yeah. How about that?
All right. So, we have more than 10 people watching.
Oh yeah, we got almost 100 people watching.
Hey, all right.
We're
on a roll.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
So thankful for all you audience tuning in. Spread the word out, and really appreciate everybody. So happy Thanksgiving, and enjoy the week, and we'll see you next time here on Straight Talk with the Boss, Magnum TA, and Greg Gagne.
Gagne.
Oh, okay. My fault.
Come on, baby.
Let's go.